Rev up your engines! So, of course, people are curious about the Ford Bronco. Here's a real one. The guy's had it for a year now, and we're going to show you the absolute truth about these things so you can make a wise decision. Okay, this is a loaded Bronco, like 65 grand. You can see it's the Wild Track. It's got everything: heated seats, heated steering column. It's got the tire in the back, which everyone loves. And there's the Bronco emblem. And yes, this is not a Bronco Sport. Don't buy a Bronco Sport. They're all made in Mexico. The quality control stinks. Contrary to that, this baby was made in Michigan. They do a good job. Granted, the earlier Broncos made in Michigan had engine problems. The engines were blowing up because they bought valves from a company. The valves in the engines broke. Really important part of your engine, the valves, right? But that was the earlier one. So that's one thing. If you're looking at a used one, do a little research. If it's one that had an engine problem, I would not buy it. Some of them, they fixed the valves, but then you just have an engine that the valves are fixed on. If they didn't replace the heads would have some wear on them. New valves on a worn head, not gonna last as long. But these newer ones, they don't have problems, at least not yet. This does have lockers. It's got the turn assist, so you're gonna lock it when you turn. It's got a very good four-wheel drive system. He's used it. He spent 65 grand. Believe me, he's going to take it off-road. But under the hood, the typical Ford, they hide it. There we go. I don't know, though. 65 grand, you got a hood prop on it? People laugh when I had that 2013 Shelby Cobra GT 500 with 667 horsepower, because it had a hood prop, too. All that money. And you didn't even get hydraulics, but that's the way it goes. It's a V6. 310 horsepower, a ton of torque, and as you can see, there's the turbo on the one side. It does have twin turbo. It's not a single turbo, and it's got torque up the wazoo for pulling, for taking off. It's a lot of fun, but of course, there's one gigantic downside to this. The best he ever got was 17 miles a gallon on the city or the highway. So you buy one of these, you also got to buy a lot of gasoline. That's how these vehicles are. Anybody that thinks they're going to build something of this size, four-wheel drive system, with a big engine, with all that horsepower, if they think they're going to get gas mileage, they're living in fantasy land. Because you buy something like this, guess what? You're going to drive it relatively hard, and you're going to get low gas mileage. Now, that's what he got. If I was driving this thing, I would assume I would probably get about 6 miles a gallon, because I drive them like insane if I got something like this, which is yet another reason, aside from the expensive price, that I'm not buying one, because I'm too cheap. You can take all 4 doors and the top off in a couple of minutes. It's no big deal. Now it has the stock 35-inch tires. These are big tires. You can take them off-road, and yes, they will make noise, especially if you take the top off and the doors off. It's relatively loud, but that's part of the charm of a Bronco. And yes, this is not an O.J. Simpson Bronco 2, which was a rolling pile of crap, underpowered. That's probably one of the reasons he drove so slow when they were chasing him, right? This thing can haul. The only problem is you don't want to go too fast because you'll topple over. Now, thank goodness it has a speed limiter of 102 miles an hour. So, at that speed, still, you could easily topple it over, so at least they gave it a speed limit of 102, so people aren't getting in it like those crazy Dodges that have 700-something horsepower, and people are just driving them full bore. I had a customer with one, and they got a special way you can program it, and the guy programmed it so his son couldn't drive it as fast, and only he knew the code he put in, so he could drive it faster than his son. He knew the son would never make it through alive, so at least it stops at 102. Now, of course, the big question is, has he had any problems in the year he's owned it? No, he hasn't. Just changes the oil and filter. This is the 2024. The 2024s didn't have engine problems. The early ones, a 102, yeah, they're eating valves. Can you imagine spending that kind of money and the valve breaks on your engine? I'd be furious. But this, no. He hasn't had any problems with it yet. All right, he does have one problem. The windshield gets cracked. He had one of them plugged with a sealer because when you have a relatively flat windscreen, rocks aren't going to bounce off as easy, so maybe get windshield insurance, because replacing the stock windshield's over $2 grand, got all the sensors and everything on it, so maybe you might buy a little extra insurance for this one. Take a look inside. Nice comfy seats in the front, and as we go in the back, check it out. Comfy seats in the back too, with reasonable amount of leg room. And of course, you can turn it into a convertible if you want. But for those of you who like creature comforts, guess what? You're gonna sweat in the back seat. There's no AC blowers or heat or anything going to the back. Some people don't like it. But then again, the people sitting in the back didn't pay the 65 grand for it, so too bad for them. The front is nice and cool. Now he's got a bike rack on here because he's taking a bike from me. But you can see it's got a reasonable amount of storage room inside. And I love the tire on the back. Gives it some class. Now it can't tow like 3,500 pounds. You could probably push if you wanted, but people aren't buying these things for towing. You can tow some stuff with it. You can probably tow a lot more for short distance if you wanted to, but hey, let's face it, kind of over-squared vehicles aren't exactly made for towing. You don't buy one of these to tow. You get a pickup truck for that. But now the moment you've been waiting for, the giant Altel scan tool. Let's see if it's got any hidden quirks in it. We got plugged in, and we will turn the giant scan tool on. It's my brand new Altel second generation monster scanner. You can see it's the Maxxis Ultra S2. And we're gonna do diagnostics. There we go. We'll do auto detect. It's Ford here, it's not Ford in Europe. We'll do standalone diagnosis. Already read the VIN. Bronco EcoBoost 2.7 liter 2024. Okay. And here we go. We'll do a full scan of everything. Here it goes. Well, it's scanning. Well, it's done already. Okay, it found 2 faults. All right. It says there's a control problem with the ABS anti-lock brake system. And it also says the trailer module has a fault. And there's the only faults there. So let's kind of look at this. Initial configuration not complete. Ha! When they built it, it didn't configure it. Now we can reconfigure if we want with this machine. Shows you all the steps, but we're not doing that right now. And we'll check this one out here. The ABS shows a problem. Communication problem. Who knows if it's been said so? Let's just erase these codes. We'll get rid of them, see if anything comes back after our road test. Got some live data here. Live data. There's going to be tons of live data. I can guarantee you that. It's got nice dual controls for the AC. Simple, understated, no bunch of crazy stuff, very easy to use. And of course you get all these different views. If you want front, back, you can play with that all you want. You can turn off the automatic start stop, which I hate, so I would turn it off all the time. You can turn the parking aids on or off, whatever you want. And as you can see, 2 high, 4 high, 4 low. There's a lot of modes you can play with on this thing. Here we go. Live data up the wazoo. Looks good, red is bad. Got all that crazy active grill shutter and all that stuff. A lot of technology in these cars, baby. That's so you get better gas mileage if it's open or closed. La 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 la. A lot of technology for a very tiny amount of gas saving. ABS system. Auxiliary transmission fluid pump control module. If it's too hot, false, it gives you all the information. That this is all good information. It's going to go on forever because this thing is complex as can be. Barometric pressure, everything's still black. Boost pressure of the turbos. Camshaft circuit sheet shows you no faults. These are very complex cars. So, if there is a problem in actuators or sensors, it'll show you here and you'll be able to figure it out. At least a mechanic like me will, without having to pull his hair under wondering what's going on with this complex dual turbo GDI system. You gotta have all this information to fix them. These now. This is the kind of information that these cars have. This is why often you can't get them fixed because the mechanics that work on them are not as smart as the car itself is. And I see that all the time. People go to a dealer, they can't fix my car. And they bring it to me. It's because, hey, you gotta have a pretty sharp brain to work on them these days, and they're not paying the mechanics all that much money. They are not going to be getting high quality guys working there for the pay that they're paying them. Yes, indeed, there is a mechanic shortage, but they call it technicians. There's a technician shortage in the United States, and it's only get worse as time goes on. When he yells now, look at this information. Look at this information. It would drive anyone insane when he yells now. Look at this. Look at this information. Look at it. It's still going, people. I'm not making this up. Look. More and more. Thank goodness it's all black and not red. It's still going, people. The data would overwhelm even Albert Einstein. Check it out. It's still going. Yes. And it's going further and further. Look at this data. We're in the use now. We might be getting close to the end. Let's see. Ah, there's still more. There it is, the end. Wide range oxygen sensor impedance expressed as a voltage. Bank 2 sensor 1. But it's all black, so that's good. And look, this is perhaps my most favorite thing of this vehicle. It didn't come with a beauty cover. Hurrah! You know, you got a nice view now. He's got the bicycle rack because I'm giving him a bicycle, so that kind of blocks it. But hey, an overview of my neighborhood. Now here we go over the bumpiest roads in Rhode Island, and hey, really smooth for a four-wheel drive truck, really. I gotta say, they got the suspension handled pretty well. You can get the pitch and roll, so as I said, it is limited to 103 miles an hour, and if you see it's pitching and rolling too much, guess what? You slow down! Now this guy's kind of crazy. He buys lots of vehicles all the time, trades them in. Maybe he'll keep this one for more than a year. It's coming up now. It'll be 2 years old. Hey, he seems to like it though. And here we go on the highway. Listen to that. It almost sounds like a V8. Nice sound. Now, of course, you're going to get some wind. It's a soft top, people. Now, one thing I got to say is, listen to Scotty, because I always tell you, don't buy things when they first came out. The people that bought these when they first came out got exploding engines with braking valves. Aha! These been out a few years now, and this thing has no problems. Here we go, off-roading now. That's what this thing is actually made for. It isn't a faux off-roader. It's a real off-roader. Then again, there goes a Hyundai. I didn't expect that. To the potholes, it's definitely not bottoming out. I felt that rock, but it was a pretty big rock. And you thought the roads in Rhode Island were bad. Hey, the park roads are even worse. He's pushing a button and he's putting the advanced traction in now. Here we go, with no traction control. Whee! Whee! Hey, I feel like a kid again. Now, people, all's fair. This was done off-road in a gravel lot. This is not done on the street. So there you have it, a Ford Bronco that is deserving of the name. A lot of fun, a lot of money too. Horrible gas mileage, but hey, this is the later one, 2024. Didn't have the engine problems. Isn't had any problems with it. Other than the windshield's cracky because they're somewhat flat, and there's nothing you can do about that. So, if you're thinking about getting one, now you know what you get, what you pay for in the real world gas mileage. Real world's no problems the first year, so you can make a wise decision if you want to buy something like this. And hey, it's your money, you can do whatever you want. At least now you know they're making them okay now. Just stay away from the Bronco Sport because they're all made in Mexico. This was made in Detroit. Well, outside of Detroit, it was made in Michigan. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.